What's up, everyone? It's your boy AnimeAnalyst, aka the Young Jiggy Ninja, back again with another video. I just finished reading that Boruto Chapter 54. All I can say is pure flames.
Know what I'm saying?
The chapter was called Bro, but I think it should have been called Kill Boruto, because that was really the mission of this chapter. I had my boy Sasuke breaking out the Amaterasu fireball, lightning style on my boy Boruto, not hesitating to kill his own student. And you gotta give Sasuke his props for this, because he kept his word. There are people in the past who have basically hesitated to kill their student, whether it be Sarutobi and Orochimaru, whether it be Kakashi and Sasuke.
Trying to think who else.
But Sasuke was bringing that smoke this chapter after he got his rasengan stabbed out in the last chapter, which was absolutely nuts. Like, Momoshiki is just straight savage. I love how ruthless Momoshiki is, because he really these eyes will take everything from you. Going back to what Momoshiki said, like, bro, Momoshiki is gonna wreak havoc on your life. And I loved Kawaki's involvement within this chapter. I basically love the character of Kawaki so much now, because I feel like there's been so much development just from him being in this whole Ishiki fight. So the last 5 or so chapters, just the amount of character progression that Kawaki has had is immense, and it's just made me love him more as a character, because they just keep flushing him out and keep transforming him as a character to make you actually be like, yo, this dude is like someone I could get used to. So, but we did learn a few things, reading this chapter. We learned that when the karma disappears, basically the Otsutsuki data that was extracted into the vessel's body stays there. So basically Kawaki's body has like 80% Otsutsuki information, DNA still within him. And he said, Momoshiki said, that was the same case for Boruto. Boruto's about 80% done with his Otsutsuki vacation, if you want to label it something. So that was interesting to see how the remnants of the karma seal actually still linger within a vessel. Now, what does that mean in terms of powers and abilities? Does that spill over into giving these characters lingering effects and powers of that Otsutsuki? Or does it just mean that they can still be fed to the Ten Tails as a sacrifice to create the divine tree, as we heard from Momoshiki? That's what he wants to do with Kawaki. So they're so damn obsessed with these damn god tree fruit snacks. Like, they trying to get that chakra fruit. What other purpose? I feel like that's such a vain purpose. Like, dude, like, you literally going through all this just to get a chakra fruit? Like, they've been doing this since they damn came to Earth. Like, it's ridiculous. But we see that Naruto basically said his body feels like it's made of lead, and he says this isn't good, and he like passes out into a coma state or something. He's knocked out. So I mean, this is a repercussion of the Baryon mode that he used with Kurama. I theorized that Kurama is no longer exists. And I mean, at the end of this chapter, going to the end of the chapter real quick, basically Sasuke looked at Naruto when he went over to his body, his unconscious body, and he said, what the? No way. So I mean, obviously it can't be that I don't think he's dead, and it has to be something surprising, because it has to be that Sasuke saw that Kurama, or he felt that Kurama wasn't inside Naruto anymore. I don't think he saw it per se, because he doesn't have his Sharingan activated, but being around Naruto so frequently, I'm pretty sure that you can sense the chakra signature per se. So Sasuke would definitely, if anybody would know if Kurama was gone, it would be Sasuke. So he's probably startled by that. But I mean, we figured out more about Boroshiki's transformation. It's definitely activated by Boruto running out of chakra, and then basically whenever Boruto's chakra is restored, he's able to wake up, and that left side of his eye opens up, and it's basically like, that's how you know whether or not Boruto is like conscious or not. If that left eye is closed, then that means Boruto is asleep. But if it's open, that means he's there. So that was interesting to see. And Boroshiki literally would not use the karma chakra absorption techniques, because he didn't want to restore Boruto's chakra, hence waking him up. So I mean, that's a handicap that I did not see coming, because I was really thinking like, how the hell are they gonna beat Borushiki? Like, this man is about to slaughter them, because what are you gonna do? Amaterasu absorb this, absorb but no, Borushiki actually utilized a lot of different jutsus within Boruto's arsenal to really combat Sasuke and Kawaki. This dude used a shadow clone to basically avoid the Amaterasu. This man used vanishing rasengan on Sasuke. Bro, this dude was sitting here basically going through Boruto's utility belt. I mean, I think he's able to see what's going on when Boruto's actually living his day-to-day. So he got a little bit of the techniques down. So he was like, yo, let me go ahead and run this jutsu up, know what I'm saying? So it was very fun to see Borushiki, toy around with Boruto's body. So I mean, I definitely appreciated all that dialogue that Momoshiki had, because when Momoshiki came out the first time versus Boruto, he really didn't have that much to say. It was very cryptic, but this time we got a whole bunch of dialogue, a whole bunch of personality, a whole bunch of motives, according to Momoshiki. So now we know that he just wants to feed Kawaki to the chakra fruit. I mean, to the 10 tails that Ishiki has stored away and create that chakra fruit. So I mean, it's kind of like I said before, bro, that's a weak ass objective, because that's literally the same thing that you were going after when you were still alive. How much chakra fruit do you need? But it was crazy to see, that space-time ninjutsu. I forgot that Boruto's karma changed symbols when he tried to use the space-time ninjutsu, but he basically tried to transport out the dimension with Kawaki so he could feed him to the 10 tails. But then Kawaki basically overheated himself on some Pokemon move shit, basically fire styled himself and was about to just burn himself alive so that Borushiki wouldn't have a sacrifice. And then Borushiki, not willing to lose Kawaki as a sacrifice, he absorbed the fire style chakra that was surrounding Kawaki. So it was pretty interesting to see Boruto, come back into consciousness after he absorbed that. And then he was like, yo, your time is up, Momoshiki. And he grabbed his arm and he broke off his horn. It was really Boruto has gutsiness. I'm pretty sure that kind of hurt when he broke, that horn off him. But that's also another thing. If you can cut the horn off, that I'm guessing that means you can dispel Momoshiki's control at that time. So it kind of reminds me of in Dragon Ball, how if you cut the Great Ape's tail off, they kind of revert to their normal form. So it's kind of like that with Boruto. When you break the horn, the influence of the Otsutsuki is kind of dispelled. So I don't know what happens if you break the horn and Boruto still has no chakra. I'm not sure, but that could be a forced quit in a way for Boruto to get away from Momoshiki. But Boruto and Kawaki's brotherly bond definitely grew, through this whole interaction and whole fight. And I feel that Boruto doesn't even know that he stabbed out Sasuke's Rinnegan yet. So I definitely feel when they go back to the village, they had I saw this shit on Twitter where it was what awaits for Boruto and Kawaki when they go back to the village. When they go back to the village, Boruto is a threat to the ninja world at this point. There's no way that Boruto is just gonna continue living his normal ninja life. This is where the story pivots. This is where Sasuke even says, yo, you can't stay here. We have to go, somewhere else. We have to basically exile you for the time being, because you're not anytime you fall asleep, anytime you get knocked out, the whole safety of the ninja world is up in the air, considering that Boroshiki's power is just so immense. So I really just think that this next chapter, the writing is going to have to be on point. I'm really interested to see if Naruto basically has a fill-in for Hokage, because I'm pretty sure this man is in a coma-like state. There's no way that they're gonna make him, walk away from this situation, just free of charge. You're definitely gonna have, repercussions for this technique, and it's definitely gonna affect the story. So, yeah, I don't know. Overall, I'm just interested to see what they do with Boruto. If he basically goes away to train with Sasuke or exiles himself, then that's where we could see him meeting up with Kashin Koji later down the line, who escaped from Ishiki, and he's probably going to teach Boruto a thing or two about, some of the techniques he has or something like that. But it's going to be interesting nonetheless. Appreciate you guys watching. It's been your boy AnimeAnalyst, the Young Jiggy Ninja. Got some new videos on the way. Stay tuned.